Quick heads up, I'm about to mention Netflix a ton, but no, this video is not sponsored by Netflix.
Hey everyone, Marissa here and welcome to the channel. Today I have a very exciting announcement to make, which is the start of a new series of anime reviews. For some context, back in 2015 and 2016, I made a series of videos on my Year of Miyazaki project in which I watched all of the Studio Ghibli films in chronological order and then reviewed each film in a standalone video. I'm being completely honest when I say that making that series of videos was possibly the most fun I have ever had on my channel. Number one, I love watching anime and it was a great excuse to do so, but also because I loved digging into the thematic discussion behind each film. I loved doing a little bit of research and finding out some background information on the film, and most importantly, I loved the response that I got from you guys. Not only did I like the conversations we were having in the comments while I was making the series, but I've also really enjoyed seeing those videos go from being, just a kind of a passion project of mine to being some of the most viewed videos on my channel. As much fun as my Year of Miyazaki videos were to make, they were also a lot of work. A lot of legwork was actually involved because the Studio Ghibli films were not yet digitized for online streaming, so I had to do a lot of tracking down DVD copies and also breaking down each film by theme and like mapping out my discussion points and making sure I had a very clear plan as to where each video was going to go took quite a while. So by the time I did finish watching the Studio Ghibli films, I was kind of glad to take a bit of a break from reviewing anime. Since Year of Miyazaki ended, I have only made 2 standalone anime reviews, the first of which was on the global phenomenon Kimi no Na wa, and the second was on the film Miss Hokusai, which was a semi-fictionalized biopic of the ukiyo-e printmaker Hokusai. Part of the reason I put up those 2 standalone reviews is that I get asked quite frequently when I'm going to bring more anime content back to the channel. I get asked in the comments on my Year of Miyazaki videos, I get asked by my patrons, and you'd be surprised by the number of DMs I get on Instagram from people saying, hey, I just found your review of X Studio Ghibli film. Are you gonna do more of these? So my answer to you is yes. We are finally bringing back anime reviews, and we're gonna be doing it in the form of this Netflix anime challenge, in which I'm gonna be watching all of the Netflix original anime on Netflix, all of it, and reviewing it for you guys here on the channel. The reasons I'm doing this as a Netflix anime challenge are twofold. Number one being ease of access. Back when I was doing Year of Miyazaki, one of the comments I got quite frequently was that people were having a hard time tracking down the films so that they could watch the film before watching my video. Now, I realize that things are a bit different now. As I said, more anime is digitized to watch or stream internationally. However, I thought Netflix would be a great platform to use because I think it's a fairly universal platform. It's very widely used, and they do have a huge anime section. My second reason for doing a Netflix anime section is that Netflix is bringing a lot of anime to an international audience that might not have otherwise have access to that anime. They are doing all of these Netflix originals, whether they are series developed specifically for Netflix or whether they are just becoming that series international distributor. And when I say Netflix has anime, I mean Netflix has a lot of anime. Even if we are discarding all of the Netflix original content, they have a wide variety of both films and series across a wide variety of genres. So all of that is going to be encapsulated in this challenge. I'm going to be watching films, I'm going to be watching series, we're going to be discussing them. It's going to be great. So basically the challenge is that back in May, I sat down, wrote out a list of all of the Netflix originals available as of the end of May 2020, wrote them all down on tiny pieces of paper, and threw them in this jar. Now I did the jar because I am somebody who very much suffers from Netflix decision paralysis, which basically means that every time I go onto Netflix and see the wide variety of things available, I spend about an hour or so scrolling through all the options and then end up rewatching something I've seen a million times. So basically at the end of each review video, I will go to the jar, pick out the next thing that I'm going to be watching, and that is what the next video will be on, and so on and so forth. Fairly easy concept, kind of like a TBR jar. When it comes to the structure of the actual review videos, I'm going to follow the same general template I did for Year of Miyazaki. I'm going to start off with a spoiler-free summary of the film. I will then go into some spoiler-free general review thoughts, and then lastly, I will either jump into a more thematic discussion of the film or show, or I will give more spoilery thoughts. So it kind of might depend on the film or the show, depending on if I have you know, like what reaction I have to it. So for sure that's how I'm going to review the films, but when it comes to reviewing the anime series, I haven't quite figured this out yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to watch one episode and review for you guys, or if it's a short season, if I'm going to watch, say, all 4 episodes and then review the whole thing, or in the case of something like, I believe Castlevania has 3 seasons, so maybe I will watch the first season and then decide if it's something I want to continue watching or just the first episode. We shall see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But generally speaking, it'll be summary, spoiler-free review, then spoilery thoughts at the end. The last thing I should probably mention is that I'm not putting any kind of timeline or deadline on this project. Year of Miyazaki obviously was completed in roughly a year, but this time around, we'll just see how it goes. There are quite a few films and series in this jar, so if I could finish it in a year, great. Will I kill myself to make that happen? No. It's something we're gonna roughly strive to do at least 1 a month, basically. So we'll see how this goes. And I do know that unfortunately not all Netflix originals are available internationally. However, like I said, this is about reaching the broadest audience possible and making it accessible to as many people as possible. So sorry about that if some of these are not available for you guys specifically, but I hope that you can at least follow along with some of these. So that is the Netflix Anime Challenge. I hope this sounds interesting to at least some of you and that you will consider joining in and watching along with me. And with that, I guess the last thing we have to do here is to shake this thing up and pull out the first thing we're gonna be watching. Now, it occurs to me as I am pulling something out here that I really should have written on here if something was a film or a series. Did not think to do that, so we will just have to look it up. Oh, okay. This is The 7 Deadly Sins. This I do know is a show. So we're gonna have to figure out how we're reviewing shows. But this review will be going up by the end of June 2020. So that is what we are watching first, The 7 Deadly Sins. If you would like to join me, get watching, and I will hopefully see you guys in the first review video. Okay, thanks. Bye.